I would like to be traded to any other team but the New England Patriots.
Big brain predictions. That's what I got.
Take it off, sir.
The Washington football team beat the Steelers.
All right.
And that person.
EDP.
Yes, but if you lose this game, I firmly believe we do not need to make playoffs. So
Don't you ever disrespect
Welcome, folks, to After Further Review. This is episode 38. I'm your wonderful co-host, Shaquille Brown.
And I am your other co-host, Jalen Brown.
Welcome, everybody that's been following us for the past couple weeks. Any new people that we might get off of this? We do the latest and best info on the latest in sports. Basketball and football is primarily what we're on.
Right.
So feel free to subscribe to us on After Further Review. Under Millhouse Media, there's multiple wonderful channels underneath that YouTube channel. So follow us. Anything like that?
Folks, it's another week. We're back at it. Shaq is steering the ship this week, so you guys are in for a real treat. He's going to take us on a great ride.
I am the captain of the ship now.
Exactly.
I don't know what happens on that movie, but anyway.
Nothing good by the end of it.
Well.
But yeah, it's been a great week. We're now in the full conference finals. The Suns are yawning, and everybody else is just catching up with them. So here we are in conference finals.
Yeah, a lot of broken dreams and hopes coming through. Many broken dreams. But anyway, going our first wonderful top of the week. Milwaukee defeats old almighty Brooklyn in 7 games.
You thought you could pull a fast one, you old bastards.
I mean, I'm not pleased because I wanted Milwaukee to catch his fat L, but apparently they continue to play with their food and it doesn't bite back, so here we are. Trae Young. Nice, Trey, I'm going to need you to...
I'm just going to need an average 60 points.
Again. Please. Oh, my God.
So, that was wild.
What was your opinion, especially on like Game 7 when it came down to the Brooklyn and Milwaukee?
Game 7, that was one hell of a game, especially come fourth quarter. That was just a wild sprint to the finish. And I just kept waiting. We were in an Xbox party all watching this together. I just kept waiting for Milwaukee to just fold on up, pack it on in, and just go home. And they just wouldn't go away. And I was like, this is odd. This is really odd for postseason Milwaukee. And they held in there. They kept just taking punches and throwing them back. Had the opportunity to end it in regulation, and somehow, thanks to a miracle of God from Kevin Durant that damn near put the nail in their coffin, they hung around and went to overtime. And then when it was in overtime, I'm thinking, all right, that's it. Milwaukee, it's been cute, but you did well. And they still somehow just outlasted what were your thoughts on this Game 7?
Like you said, I was waiting for them to fold like some lawn chairs out there, but they kept going like a black church chair, sturdy, resistant, refusing to collapse.
We're gonna come on, we're gonna get back up.
And I was like, all right, here we go. Third quarter, fourth quarter, what the hell? Overtime, and they're still putting up points. Unfortunately, Brooklyn had no help from James Harden to the degree that I wanted him to. Yeah. I expected if he would have put it in just a tad bit much more effort, I thought they would have closed this out.
Yeah,
would have ended this, but here they are, just watching from home.
His stat line was really unimpressive. We don't have it in front of us right now, but he did not shoot well from anywhere. But he did put up 20 some odd points. It's just a shame that he couldn't have put up 4 or so more points, however much they lost by, which was not much. But at the end of it, the real reason I think that Milwaukee was able to come away with that win was because Brooklyn just got, primarily Kevin Durant, just got gassed.
Yes.
Like, he had played every single minute of that game, pretty sure every single minute of the previous game, like he had played like 3 games straight, literally straight, and it like he just by the overtime he was just gassed completely, and when you're not getting any help, you can see why.
Yeah, it's from a man that went from playing 4.5 total minutes for like the regular season to literally playing 3 games straight. You can only ask so much of that man.
Yeah.
You know he's at home icing his knees off right now.
Icing everything still.
They got him in like an ice chamber like Superman. Just wait.
Frozen solid.
Exactly. Come regular season.
Falling out come October.
Exactly. So, can't really blame KD for the situation they're in. It's the surroundings.
Yeah. Were you... I guess from after this series ended, do you view either team differently now?
I view like Milwaukee differently. I have much more respect for them, like as a whole group. I'm so used to them being like a one and done type of situation, and it just being like we're playoff worthy, but nothing more than the first round.
Right.
But now I see them really tired of doing that first round exit and really getting out there.
Yeah, I agree. I really don't view Brooklyn any differently for the most part, but Milwaukee showed a lot. Like this, they've been to the Eastern Conference Finals before. I think just once in the past few years, but and then they folded to Philly or Toronto. One of them, I forget. But this was like almost everybody was expecting them to lose this series, even though at the beginning people thought it was going to go 7 games or so. At the end of the day, everybody for the most part thought that the Nets would win. So this was by far their toughest task in a long time, and they actually pulled it off. Even when it was looking pretty grim and they were down in a 2-game hole, and they still pulled themselves out of that and turned it around. Gotta give props to Giannis. He stepped up big time when they needed him the most. He stepped up and played outstanding. He did his thing. Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, all of them did their thing. So Milwaukee showed me a lot in that series.
For a team with kind of like a one-trick pony team, in my opinion,
Yeah.
sure working for them. So
Yeah,
congrats to y'all. Give y'all much credit.
straight up. And then on Brooklyn's side, who do you think deserves the most blame?
People can say James Harden still put up numbers 26. No, for the man who is probably one of the best shooters in the game currently and scorers and offensive weapons, I expected so much better. This man had to put up at least 30-something points at minimum for game 7 elimination game. So
Right. He's not Blake Griffin. He's not DeAndre Jordan. He's not Bruce Brown. Like, you are James Harden. You are supposed to be the second best player on this team. So, what the hell?
And game 7, I feel like maybe Blake Griffin was one of the best top 2 players on that team
for sure.
Game 7. So,
I'd say he deserves a lot of the blame. But I guess just overall as a team, I hate to be that guy where it's like, don't pick one answer, just pick an overall answer. But
no.
I do feel like the team as a whole, just the entire bench, apparently the Brooklyn's bench did not attempt a single shot that game, all of game 7, which is just bizarre to think about. But it just kind of goes to show those super team growing pains. Like, it's kind of what happens when a super team is just thrown together on the fly. Golden State kind of had the advantage of it was kind of a slow progression that just kind of the cherry on top was Kevin Durant, but everything else was already kind of there already.
Yeah.
But Brooklyn, it was like we got James Harden in the middle, or not the middle of the season, but the start of the season, and then we got rid of half of our team, and it's like this is why you still need a solid bench, because people are going to go down, especially those people that you guys have, and you're gonna at some point you're gonna need your bench to come through for you. So, yeah, I'm sure they're looking back now and thinking, should we have given up everything to get Harden here?
Probably not.
Yep.
If we're gonna do that, I want Harden to be coming out here grabbing mad points.
Right. Exactly.
Which leads us to our next topic. The Suns lead their series 2-0 right now.
They sure do. The Phoenix Suns have not lost a game since 1991.
And I see them not losing one for a couple more games. I'm just saying.
So let's take it back to last night's game. Game 2 was a roller coaster ride. My God, Clippers fans, you guys must have nerves and balls of steel, because to sit through watching that team play it's got to be just nerve-wracking. Yeah, what were your thoughts on how that crazy game ended last night? That was so strange.
You sit there watching, like, what's happening right now? What am I watching at this current moment? But at the end of the day, it just really shows that the Phoenix Suns, once again, can't lose. Some odds are in their favor. The stars are aligned, and this team just went from zero to hero.
Yeah,
hell quick.
Entirely.
Exactly. So you never know. That's the team to beat, in my opinion, right now.
They are. Something's in the water in Phoenix. I don't know what it is, but
not else. I'll tell you that much.
That last few minutes, that last minute, really. First of all, it was about 30 minutes because of everything being reviewed, but a lot of that was just nuts. I wanted to blame a lot of that on Zubac. Like last night, I was like, man, you got to block that alley-oop. Like you cannot let DeAndre Ayton just go up and have a game-winning alley-oop off of an inbound pass. But looking at it again, he did kind of get fouled. Like I think the Clippers kind of got railroaded last night. Like that alley-oop shouldn't have been there in the first place because the ball went out of bounds. And to me, without even needing a replay, like it was clearly off of DeAndre Ayton's hands. Should have been a Clippers ball with 1 second left. They really should have won that game. But at the same time, PG-13 missing free throws, missing both free throws that would have put this to a 3-point game. Like, you're not really helping yourself in that case. It was just a wacky finish.
Yes.
And it's a gut punch to the Clippers because they should have stole this game on the road without a doubt.
My advice to that is Clippers, do not put yourself in that situation where it comes down to one last play with the opponent's possession of the ball. Do not put yourself in that position. Win this game early and put it away.
Yeah, and Paul George, I mean, he finished out that fourth quarter strong. I mean, they were down, and he brought them back into it in the last couple minutes pretty much by himself. He was playing out of his mind, and I was like, oh, man, playoff P, man. He's doing his thing. And then free throws to put the game away, and he misses them both. And I'm like, no, Pandemic P is still around.
Curious Jordan.
He couldn't help it. Just a swift kick to the groin on that one. But
God bless.
Which team do you think needs their star back faster? Do you think the Suns are in desperate need of Chris Paul more, or do you think the Clippers are in desperate need of Kawhi more?
I think Clippers are in desperate need of Kawhi more. They definitely need, especially where they're down now. They need to. I feel like this game 3 is very crucial for them to win.
Yeah.
Because if they do not win this game 3 and they go down 3-0, there is no win. They need Kawhi very desperately right now. And if I'm head coach, I'm like, do we play him no matter what's going on game 3, or do we risk it, keep him out another game and hope
and pray we can win this?
Yes, because even if he does come back, let's say game 4, I don't see them come back and winning none of this, even with Kawhi back.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like this. They desperately need their star back.
Yeah, I agree. Right now, because you're up 2 games right now. Clearly, not that desperate of a need. Cam Payne out there doing his thing. Dude, I mean, he's not a replacement for Chris Paul, but he is a great fill-in for the time being. Dude is balling right now, and shout out to him for filling the shoes. But I do think that Kawhi is most definitely more of a need right now. I mean, clearly, they're in a 2-0 hole, and for 2 series in a row, the Clippers have now 3 series in a row, the Clippers are now in these 0-2 holes. And it's like, how many times can you keep reaching for that gear and pulling yourself out of these situations? Because I mean, yeah, Dallas is one thing. Utah is a whole nother thing. Phoenix, though, good luck. But, yeah, hopefully Kawhi can come back, even though I don't know. It seems really strange with him right now. It sounds like he may not come back at all. I'm not sure. The great part for the Suns that Chris Paul is just in a COVID protocol, and he seems to be fine. They're just showing videos of him doing TikTok dances with his kids yesterday. Clearly, he's fine. So as soon as he's cleared, he'll be just right back at it. Kawhi, though, if he does come back, it's probably not going to be 100%. It's probably going to be favoring that one knee and just crossing your fingers the whole time. So
I for sure see the Suns winning this series. Maybe they give up one game in this series.
Yeah, I probably.
Yeah, but that's
one game in LA.
One game, but I still going 4-1 in this series. And
gotcha, 4-1. Yeah, I'm gonna say I'll give him another game. I'll say it goes 6. But I hate the fact that pretty sure we've written them off both times.
Yes, and
there's no way they come back against Dallas. There's no way they come back against Utah. So here we are again. But
yeah, writing them off. But you will continue the trend. You have to get it right at least one time, right?
That's probably why they keep winning, because we keep picking them.
Exactly, and they're getting up with a ring at the end of the time. You sit there and like, oh, I say one of them loses the ring on the way flight back home. So I put people away.
Yeah, I am going to take the Suns in 6, though, when it all boils down to it. So,
we shall see. But folks, we are going to go on our wonderful break now. Y'all do what you do. Wipe your ass, watch TV, anything y'all need to do, and cry maybe until we come back. So, see y'all after the break.
Stay up. If you were starting a team right now, would you pick him as your starting point guard?
Yes.
Oh, I'm still taking Steph. I'm sorry.
No.
You think Russell Westbrook is a better
Yes.
point guard?
An all around better point guard.
How many rings does Russell Westbrook have?
How many rings does Steph have?
3.
I'm still taking.
Kevin Durant left this man because he said, "I can't win with you. I gotta go join somebody who can."
And then he left Steph again.
Well, I mean, it's Kevin Durant.
Yes.
But at the same time, since he's left, what has Russell Westbrook done?
You make a powerhouse team around Steph Curry. That man had help.
Before that, he had him. It was him, Draymond, and Clay.
Which is still a lot more than Westbrook had.
He had Kevin Durant, James Harden, Serge Ibaka.
You try to play with James Harden.
If a game is on the line, the last person on my list is Russell Westbrook because that shit is hard off the glass every single time. What are you saying right now, Ryan Brown? Is a beast. Yeah, he is a beast. That doesn't mean he's better than Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Some do say that they think the coaching is the problem with that team, but I mean, maybe if you give him a great coach, maybe they'll hop up to like the 8th seed at best. Maybe they'll jump up 2 places or so, but nothing crazy.
Can't coach non-talent.
That's also true, man.
This is some of a Disney movie where the airbud comes and saves them from.
They do have a very interesting roster. I will say that.
Not just people like to talk. Mike Tomlin is probably the best thing to happen. One of the best things that happened to that team when it comes to coaching. Which other coach would would have tolerated all that shit? Think about it. Picture coaching Antonio Brown for more than one season at a time. And then picture coaching Juju on the same exact. This is my thing. It's like no other coach would have tolerated. Damn well this man is cussing them out in the locker room every game.
Screaming at him.
Using all types of language, just screaming at him in the locker room to act right. This man do nightly call-ins. You home? All right, you got a game tomorrow.
He's a high school coach. He's got to call him the night before. Hey, remember, we got to be at the airport. All right, 9 a.m.
Is that club music in the background? Boy, you know what's-
Alex Rodriguez and Mark Lohr, two of them are in the process of buying the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards was asked about what he thinks about A-Rod now owning the team, and apparently he did not know who Alex Rodriguez even was. Very strange coming from him, who apparently played baseball for a big chunk of his life, and he's trying to convince people that he doesn't know. Okay, like really? Really?
Go playing games.
Jesus.
He's got low-key shot distance, man. You don't tell him
I don't see your name on this checkbook.
what payroll?
Apparently they'll take full control come 2023, and they will also own the WNBA counterpart, the Minnesota Lynx, as well.
I feel like this Browns team has a different vibe, a more successful vibe than what you've seen in the past from them.
Nah, I think they're still the same Browns team out there every year. I think they're nameless great faces. The Browns is the Browns. I'm just happy we're playing them again, this Sunday. I'm just happy we're playing them again, The Browns is the Browns. I'm just happy we're playing them again, this Sunday. The Browns is the Browns.
Get him out of here, John! The Browns don't beat the Browns! The Browns don't beat the Browns!
And I'ma need that $40 even if I gotta fuck, suck, and swallow. Hit the parking lot cause I was
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Mr. Fredrickson. You ready to go?
Ready as I'll ever be. I'll meet you at the van in just a minute. I want to say one last goodbye to the old place.
Sure. Take all the time you need. Probably going to the bathroom for the 80th time.
Hast du etwas Zeit für mich? Singe ich ein Lied für dich von 99 Luftballons auf ihrem Weg zum Horizont. Denkst du vielleicht grad an mich?
So long, boys! I'll send you a postcard from
China.
99 Luftballons und dass sowas von sowas kommt.
Nobody panic. The good news is they can't fire all of us, right?
They can.
No, they can't.
Yes, they can.
Oscar, you don't know what the hell you were talking about.
Michael, what do you think shutting down a branch is?
All right, then we're screwed.
The Indiana Pacers. Pick number 10 will be made by the New Orleans Pelicans.
You ain't getting no wrong. You was celebrating. You thought you had a victory too, didn't you?
I'm worried about the face I'm looking at right now.
He had a victory.
Skip, you don't look happy.
You do not look happy. Okay, I heard you coming in. I saw you.
It was James Harden that same night. Had a 38 points, 11 assists, 13 rebound triple-double against Minnesota. He's just out of his mind lately. He looks like the Houston James Harden, where he's just carrying that team that ever since Barnacle Boy and Mermaid Man are still out.
Oh my god.
You guys can be the judge of who's who. Lemon Pepper Lou. Man, after you picked up that nickname, you probably should have known that you weren't going to be around much longer.
Certain nicknames aren't meant to be good nicknames and mean anything well for you. King J? Welcome, folks, back. Welcome. I know y'all missed us.
Yep.
Did y'all enjoy your break?
Were you crying soft tears or were you sobbing?
I know. Or both. Anyway, folks, we are back from a break. We are here to introduce you to our Instagram poll. For those of us who don't follow us on Instagram, please go ahead and do that right now. Just go ahead and click on that and follow. We got plenty of things for y'all to do on there.
Right, it's plenty for you guys to look at. This week, this was our first TikTok poll, so you can keep your eye out on either one, on Instagram or TikTok. But
TikTok,
trying to get hit with the kids, folks. So we'll see us on both spots. So the question was based off of last night's game, which was who was more to blame for the Clippers loss, Paul George or Zubats at the end of the game. And 16 of you said Paul George, 6 of you said Zubats. So, Paul, gotta hit those free throws, buddy.
Well, just like that, you could have performed all you want in that game. The fact that you could have put up 60 points. The fact that you missed the game-winning possible free throws would have just became most hated.
Yep. Sorry, Paul.
They call free throws for a reason.
Still pandemic P at the end of the day. In other news, so my Boston Celtics have found a brand new head coach. Did not take us too long here. Brad Stevens pounding the pavement, found his coach. Lord forgive me on the name. I know that I think he's Nigerian originally, but I think it's Ime Udoka.
Udoka forever? I don't know.
I believe that's how it is pronounced. I'll figure it out eventually. I'm screaming it for these making boneheaded decisions. Yep. But he used to be the assistant coach for the Spurs for a long time, and then just this past year, he was the right-hand man to Steve Nash for the Nets coaching staff. So welcome aboard. Lead us to the promised land.
A lot of work to do. It was a pretty rough season for your team and my team. So
he's definitely got his work cut out, but I think they made a good choice here. I know I've seen some Celtics fans that were dissatisfied, hoping that we were going to get Chauncey Billups or whoever. But, hey, man, he was with the Spurs for a long time. It's a great way to come up. And then last year with Brooklyn, I'm sure he's learned a lot and had to deal with plenty of different personalities. So, and he used to play. He was the point guard for a long time. So, good to have a player coach. I think that the Celtics will gel really, really well with him since he's played the game before, which Brad Stevens did not, believe it or not. Yeah. But either way, I'm happy to have him. Hopefully he works out. Today or yesterday, I think it was yesterday, Alex Caruso of the Lakers was arrested at the airport for having a grinder in his bag with a little bit of weed inside of
I will never understand this.
Now, granted, Caruso obviously plays in L.A. I don't think he was. I would imagine he wasn't in L.A. He probably wouldn't have gotten arrested for this. I'm sure he was coming from somewhere else. Probably forgot that it was in his bag, and then that's how that happened. So he got arrested. And I think it was LeBron who tweeted "Free Caruso" after.
I'm sure they're just clowning him right now, which I love to death. You know, my issue with this is, you know, they have the capability of buying weed from any city they go to easily. The fact that he traveled with this stuff with them, or like, it was probably an accident. He probably did forget it was in his bag, but the concept of these guys have probably all the resources and plugs known to mankind.
Yeah.
So just the fact that this man get caught with weed.
Yeah. TSA got him. They said, man.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not the worst that you could possibly get caught in possession, but like, still, it's the fact that everyone's gonna be like.
Yeah, it's a funny one. It's funny because kind of like, does the team even care? Because again, if he was in California, it would have be nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like, they're probably just laughing at him. Like, oh, that's pretty funny. I would imagine there's no like real consequence because whatever. But yeah,
I assume it's just a slap on the wrist and go about your business type thing. So,
but yeah, I'm sure TSA was like, where are you headed to?
Yes, sir.
You know, and that must have been just a douche of a cop to like take out the grinder, like look through it, and then you know it's Alex Caruso. They're like gonna give him a hard time. Like
the fact that it's like, I'm not saying he deserves special treatment because of who he is, but at the same time, it's like you chose to search him because in hopes to find something so he can be that person.
Yeah, like I
it's like seeing
arrested an NBA player.
Yeah, it's like seeing LeBron in the international airport. Like, I'm gonna search for bronze. It's like, why are you acting out right now? Do the most.
Well, I'm sure that TSA agent got to pocket a nice little heirloom.
Exactly.
Nice loud heirloom. And then last but not least, yesterday nights before the game started, the riveting draft lottery was on. And the top 5 picks are as follows. Orlando with the number 5 pick.
Expected.
Yep. Toronto at number 4.
Expected.
Cleveland at number 3. Expected. How many times can you get a top 3 pick? There's some kind of rule where you just can't get them anymore.
All the times without LeBron are dry. And I bet if you would say next season, go back to Cleveland, you'd be like, LeBron! Y'all have dug up your jerseys out of your closet. Blow the dust off of it, and then hate him as soon as he leaves again. Trey was 37 points.
Yeah, Trey Young's lighting it up right now. Gallinari putting the moves on PJ Tucker. Good lord. Anyway, number 2, the Rockets.
Funny. Ironic. Funny. As we were clowning the reason why they're number 2 earlier in the show.
Man, how times have changed.
Exactly.
And number 1, the desolate wasteland known as the Detroit Pistons. I think they play at the Crystal Palace. That's the name of the arena. Yeah.
I love how the number 2 pick and number 3 pick are both teams that solely dependent on one player to perform really well. And because those players are no longer there, they are now
here they are.
Top 3 worst teams, I feel like, in the NBA.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just keep it moving right out of there. Good luck, Detroit. You're going to need all of it. And
every last bit of it.
Needs to be a petition to get Cleveland out of the fucking top 3 picks because y'all shouldn't be able to keep doing that. Clearly, you ain't taking any advantage of them. So,
and to our next wonderful topic, one of the worst decisions by a team to keep. Oh, Ben Simmons.
Speaking of the Rockets.
What's wrong with that, man?
Oh, man. This is really, really unfortunate.
Man shoots with his toes.
He went from bad to worse. Offensively, he went from bad to worse. This was really... this was tough to watch, Ben Simmons, in this entire series. Do you think he was the biggest reason that they lost this? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we're agreeing on that one.
He solely, if he would have done like even a fraction of it better than he was, completely different results by that team.
He was averaging like less than 10 points this series. I think in the last 3 games combined, he had 19 total points. 19 points in 3 playoff games.
You just don't want it.
Yeah, clearly. It's like if he would have just given them a little more in pretty much any one of these games, Philly wins this series.
Yes, but here we are once Philly.
Yeah, and then the free throws, terrible free throw shooter, like just god awful, and then get so bad that he gets to the point where he doesn't want to get fouled because he knows I'm not gonna make these free throws, so coach has to just take him off the court. Embarrassing, like that's just. You just can't have that happen.
Exactly.
It's like if you were to, even if he was shooting under 50% at the free throw line. If he were to just shoot half his free or make half his free throws, Philly probably wins this series.
Yes, I would have been like coach looking up in the stands. You ever played basketball before? All right, come here. Ben, take off the jersey. Put it on this man.
Unbelievable. How that happened. I don't want to hear any more of these Magic Johnson comparisons. I don't want to hear any more of the LeBron James comparisons. 6'11", can't shoot to save his life. Stop it.
I'm not gonna tell you, my favorite things are his memes with him. If he wasn't 6'10", the jobs that he would be doing. UPS, construction. He literally
Simmons. Getting paid top dollars to not be
big for nothing. Basically, is what he's being paid for.
Yeah, it's just pretty. It's really bad. Do you think it's time for him to be traded?
Yes, for literally anybody at this point in time. Anybody who's got a halfway decent mid-range game, yes. Ben Simmons, you on, you out.
That the tough part now is like if they would have traded him at the beginning of this year, you still could have gotten a king's ransom for him because he was still regarded as a great player.
But now his name is like jaded kind of thing.
Yes, now he's soiled, and now it's like you have no leverage to trade him because now everybody's like, I give
Simmons.
I use Capri Sun and a couple bottles of water. Like
I got V-Bucks.
I'll give you 50 V-Bucks.
80.
Man.
80 and you can have them.
And the thing is, it's not like it got to the point where he didn't even want to shoot. It wasn't like he was just taking shots and just missing. Like he just, of course, there was that infamous play in Game 7 where he was right under the rim, had an easy layup with Trae Young, who was literally an entire foot shorter than him, in front of him, and he passes it at the last second. It's gotten to the point where it's like, I don't think it's more of a, like, he needs to go in the gym and work on his jump shot, because that's what he says every year. It seems like it's something mental where he needs a psychiatrist, therapist, whatever.
Yeah, I know that social media, I feel like, is clowning him for not being able to shoot. Everyone forgets that it's not that the man's not able to see people making fun of him on the internet. So it definitely gets into his head that he knows that people are aware that he can't shoot.
Right.
And
yeah, he's scared to shoot at this point, and I don't know if the repetition of being in a gym with whoever guarding him, Foot Locker employees guarding him, I don't know who they be having in those practice videos. It doesn't matter. When you actually get into a game, you have other people who are just as good as you are guarding you. He does not want to shoot the ball, so I don't know if he needs hypnosis or
that get out type of hypnosis with the spoon.
It's a jersey they're waving in front of him like a defender. I don't know, or just get a therapist in the gym with him and scream at him. Whatever you got to do to improve that. But that's the thing. I think even if it was just he's taking shots and missing them, even that would still be easier to trade.
Yes.
Rather than if it's a mental problem, good luck. Like trying to figure that one out.
Can't fix it. Yeah, fix it yourself kind of thing.
Yeah. And right now their trade value seems to be as low as you could probably imagine. When we're at the point where other teams know Philly pretty much has to get rid of him, it's like, oh, I can just give you whatever now. And it does not help that I would say maybe try and keep him But Embiid and him don't seem to get along at all. Like, Embiid clearly does not like him. I'm assuming it's vice versa too. Even to the point where, like, when they were supposed to go to the All-Star game and for whatever reason, like, the Sixers didn't want them to play because of COVID concerns, and they took 2 separate jets to come back to Philly or something like that. I don't remember where they're going to or from, whatever, but they purposely took 2 separate jets. The amount of waste went into flying 2 separate flights because y'all don't like each other.
And it's not like you can be like, we'll get rid of Embiid. And it's like, no, you know Embiid ain't going
clearly,
nowhere at all.
One
So
of y'all is going.
For sure, your ass going somewhere. So
yeah. And Embiid made it pretty clear in the post-game interviews where he all but said, yeah, Ben Simmons was the reason why we lost this game, where he blamed free throw shooting or lack of free throws. And then even Doc Rivers kind of threw him under the bus when the reporter asked him, like, do you think you can win with Ben Simmons? He was like, I don't know. If you're head coach, I mean, you can at least act like, yeah, we'll figure it out.
It's like that badass kid that your parents know you bad as can be and just looking at you before you go to school. It's like, if your teacher called me today.
It's like at the point now where it's a mental problem, and you throw in the fact that clearly now you know the locker room does not think highly of you. It's like you can't bring him back on this team.
True question is, would he want to come back to this team?
No,
knowing that your team does not like he does not have no faith in your ability whatsoever. Why am I coming back?
If the coach doesn't even believe in you,
yeah,
there's no reason to come back.
At that point, I'm willing to go anywhere.
Right,
that is willing to take me. I do not care.
With that being said, where do you think is a prospect for Ben Simmons to land?
Anywhere but the Heat.
That would be a nightmare.
Yes, I would not want that man at all on my team. Honestly, anybody that's in that top 5 draft pick probably is very beneficial for them.
I'd rather that without a doubt.
Yes, like I would give up if I was one of those top 5 teams. Give up that first round draft pick to take Ben Simmons for if you really want to. If you want to just take the player that has the experience, that's been in the league. Yes, he has his problems, but experience speaks a lot sometimes when it comes to the league.
And that's like he's such a great defender. It almost raises the question, like, I think if whoever does get him, they might not even try and play him at point guard. Like, he's huge, so he doesn't have to be a guard. He can be just like a forward, and just I heard Shannon Sharp comparing to like Draymond Green. He's just Draymond Green is not an offensive weapon, but he's a lockdown defender.
It's like, what's his face with that play with Jordan and Pippen? Jordan and Pippen back of the Bulls. It's like,
you talking about
the
European dude?
Oh, not European dude. What's his face?
Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman. Yeah. Not the biggest scorer known to mankind.
Right.
But homeboy played his role of rebounding and
he just played 100% energy. Like, he's just gonna give you.
Yeah,
everything.
It's like not everything comes down to necessarily putting up numbers, but the impact that you have on the court. If you can give your team those second chance points, get offensive rebounds, throw back, or like prevent the other team from scoring, it's your role.
Yeah, I don't think Simmons contains that, because that role is like physically he can do that, but that's like you gotta really want to be that dude.
Be passionate about it,
right? Like a Rodman or a Ben Wallace, or just that dude who just wants to rebound the damn ball and is just down there battling in the paint.
You're okay with not being the highlight player when it comes to 45 points a game. You gotta be okay with the fact that you're shutting down your person all game long, and you're just playing your key role.
Right, like Rodman or Draymond Green, which even though again physically, he's around their same size, but I just can't see him. He just seems too kind of laid back to want to do that. And unfortunately, I don't see him wanting to change either. Like, if a team was like, hey, if we get you, we want to put you at forward, I could just see him being like, no, I want to be a guard. Like, that's what I do.
But unfortunately, it's a position where he doesn't necessarily have the choice.
Right. Don't bite the hand that feeds
Exactly.
you.
If the team is like, I'm willing to take you, but this way you have to do it. Don't be that person like, well, no, at this moment, at this point, just take the job.
Because you keep this up, you ain't going to have one.
Exactly.
I've heard, like, Houston, you can come alongside with John Wall. That sounds like an absolute train wreck. I don't know how that would work. But I can't think of another spot for him. Like, today's NBA does not favor guards, especially. You have to be able to shoot. It's just plain and simple.
Think about all the guards that we know that put up numbers. Trey, Steph Curry, Russell when he decides that he actually wants to be an offensive threat.
Right.
Like, we got all these people that can play guard and.
Yeah. It's you have to be pretty much 1 through 5 you have to be able to shoot, but most importantly, your point guard has to be able to shoot the damn ball.
Exactly. Once you lose that, you probably need to switch positions.
Yeah. So he should be interesting to see what happens, where he goes. Both of us agree though that he will not be in Philly come next year. So
nope.
We'll see. That whole experiment though of them insisting, all right, we'll be all right. Simmons is gonna work on his jump shot and we'll be okay. Failed miserably, and it took this losing to the Atlanta Hawks Eastern Conference semifinals to prove that
there's no improvement from where he's at now.
Which not taking anything away from Atlanta, like they won that fair and square, but. I mean, let's all be real. Nobody was expecting the Sixers to not advance. So, anyway.
Our next topic brings us to this current game going on. Milwaukee versus Atlanta. It is fourth quarter. 7 minutes ago. Atlanta's up by 2, 94-92.
Yes, this is a back and forth so far. Game 1, it's kind of hard to say as of right now because we've been doing this damn show throughout most of the entirety of this game being on, but
Trae Young, that's what I'm seeing, has like damn near 40 points for the game.
Right. So Trae's still doing his thing. As far as matchups go, I mean, so far we're seeing that Drew Holiday can't seem to slow down Trae Young, but
Drew Holiday is also, I think he has 30 plus points for the game. So
really?
He also, from what I'm seeing, is very much putting up numbers back. That's why it's back and forth.
Got you. I was just about to ask, do you think that Drew Holiday can slow down Ice Trae?
No, I think both of them are going to put up numbers. I think it's not going to come down to necessarily them. It's going to come down to the players around them. Can they play their role?
Right.
Also, because both of them are going to put up like monstrous points, 30 plus points, 35 plus points every single game. It's a matter of fact, can the other players do their part to contain each other and put up their. So.
Yeah. I like the, from what I have seen, Capella seems to be kind of, I mean, I don't want to say he's locking down Giannis, but when that matchup does come, I feel like that's the Hawks. One of their best options is to have Capella on Giannis, and come next week, that statement might sound idiotic because who knows what happened in this series, but just what I'm seeing tonight, Capella has been doing an okay job at keeping Giannis from just yamming it on his dome. But yeah, how do you think this series goes moving forward?
I think this is gonna be another series that drags out to a game 7 or 6, and it's gonna be very close to home every single game when it comes down to it. So, I want to say game 6 or 7, and I think Atlanta will take this one. Unfortunately,
okay.
I give it to. Not because I hate Milwaukee, but because of purely I think Atlanta's like that team.
Atlanta's a great team.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it just comes down to Atlanta, and they'll be that team. And I see them winning out. It's going to be drawn out, and even if Milwaukee comes through with this, can they afford to keep going to game 6 or 7 with these teams? And
right.
Because that's a lot of games.
That was a pretty ticky-tack foul, if you ask me.
Giannis fouled Trae Young on a 3-point shot.
Yeah, but did he really though?
Pretty. The ball don't lie.
Yeah, Drew Holiday is 30 points right now.
Wow, yeah, damn, Drew Holiday is doing his thing. Yeah, Giannis with 22, Middleton with 15. Yeah, I do think that a lot of this is going to come down to Atlanta plays a lot of just speed. Like, they rely on a lot of their youth and just to get up and down the court as fast as possible. Obviously, with Trae Young being the spearhead on that. And the Bucks are a bit more of a kind of a slow it down more, or they kind of do play with speed as well. If it's Giannis who's just coming down full speed ahead, there's nothing you can do about that. But a lot of it is kind of slow it down and then kick it out to one of their many 3-point shooters. But yeah, I do like Atlanta's chances in this. I don't think it's gonna be a sweep or just a gentleman's sweep with Milwaukee. I do think it's gonna come down to a game 6 or a 7, but I am going to take. I love Trae.
So he's just about it 24/7.
Yes. Trae Young doesn't give a damn who you are. He's giving it to you every single
his opinion
time.
Every time. He's like, try my life, I promise.
Yeah, I think that Milwaukee's experience will come in. And I think they will take down the Hawks in, I'm going to say, 6 games. A lot of it is because they aren't the Sixers. Like, the Hawks should have probably lost that series to Philly, but Philly could not get out of their own damn way, and it's more or less why the Hawks ended up winning that series. Milwaukee, they have experience. They were able to defuse the bomb known as the Brooklyn Nets. I don't think they're going to let close games slip out of their grasp as the Sixers did. And again, like, the Hawks, this is their first time in this situation in a very, very long time. All these dudes out there, they have little to no playoff experience. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bucks in 6 games to beat the Hawks.
Okay, take it. I have all confidence in the world, then, but backlash because of that. But here we are.
We'll see what happens.
Yes. And come to our final topic of the week. Do you have a prediction for these finals coming up of a team?
Yes, I do. Just like I said, I think the Bucks are coming out of the East. I think the Suns will come out of the West. And I think it will be a Suns-Bucks matchup, which is, in my 26 years on this earth, never thought those words would ever leave my mouth. But I think it'll be a good finals. I am honestly very happy right now with the 4 teams that are left. So cool not seeing the foregone conclusion we all thought of Brooklyn and LA as in the Lakers LA, because that's what pretty much everybody was saying before the season started. So cool that both of them are out, and it's none of the normal teams that we're used to. There's no Miami, there's no Boston, there's no LA. Well, there is an LA, but it's obviously the Costco version.
So that's store brand.
Yeah, all the normal teams we're used to seeing are not there. Like, we got Atlanta, we got Milwaukee. There's no Golden State. We've got Phoenix and the great value LA team. So I think it's awesome that we've got a bunch of small market teams right now. But I do think it'll be Suns and Bucks. And I'm not going to give any kind of prediction there because we'll save that for when we actually know who's in the finals.
Yes.
But yeah, that's who I think will make it.
I think it's going to be Suns and Atlanta.
That would be really, really cool. Either way, it'll be cool. But
yeah, I think that would be an ideal matchup to see these young players come through, and
both squads would be really young teams.
That's what I'm saying. And like you said, it's very cool to see the non-predictable teams in there. No more of this Golden State, Cleveland, Golden State, this.
Golden State Cleveland was the finals for about 10 years in a row.
Yes, I'm tired. As much as I love LeBron as like a player and everything, I'm tired of seeing LeBron, Steph Curry, or some,
right.
or like even last year. I love seeing my Heat in there, but the fact that they had to play LeBron and the Lakers, it's kind of like here we go. But the fact that we could see brand new faces and you got all these young energy of look at this, just down the court, just ready.
Right, like
exciting to watch this year.
Like John Collins, Trae Young, Clint Capella, like all those dudes are relatively young. And then Giannis, we've never seen him in the finals before.
We haven't seen him past the first round before. I don't know if you know.
They did make it to the Eastern Conference Finals one year. I think that was the year that the Raptors won the championship.
And next year it left. That's funny to me.
Such a strange individual.
All right, won a championship and gone.
I believe he was the first person ever to do that, by the way, to leave a championship team that same year. Strange. Look at him now. But anyway.
Man's legs don't work.
Yeah, either way, I think we're in for a treat. We both are taking the Suns out of the West. The Clippers would be cool too. I mean, if they make it, that will be really cool. From what I remember, the Clippers, Milwaukee is about every single citizen of their city outside of the stadium right now.
How many people are that live in Milwaukee?
They're all outside.
15. They drafted people from surrounding cities to come in.
From Chicago, come on out here. Detroit, going out here.
Y'all ain't got no runnings, right?
Yeah, the Clippers, I think they have the longest championship drought of any sports franchise right now.
I mean,
which is
any
crazy.
Sports or just basketball?
I think it's sports.
I can't. You tell me there's nobody in the NFL that has a longer drought than.
I think so. I must look this up real quick. I know that they're up there. Clippers.
So weird too, because Clippers, I feel like has always had at least one okay player on their team for the past few years.
They
or
have,
so.
Yeah. Guess it depends on a lot of. This is all baseball teams. I know the Clippers have had like 50 seasons go by since they've won. I'm not sure if anybody's had a longer one. Sorry, folks. I'm just trying to find this real quick. And they don't even put the information here. Okay, that's really useful.
Well, it's hard for me to believe, but at the same time, I can believe it kind of thing.
Right, it's not completely wild.
Mm-hmm. Even Jacksonville went to the playoffs a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah, they went a couple. Yeah, Jacksonville made it to a conference championships a couple of years ago.
But one time, and then they were bad, good for one season, then was bad again. It was like,
yeah, right back to back.
What's wrong with y'all?
Don't know how that happens, but
you're sitting there watching the season like.
Usually it's a gradual letdown.
No, it was just immediately bad again. To them having the number one draft pick this season as Giannis misses his feet.
Yep. Yeah. I can't find it, folks, but I think the Clippers have gone 50 seasons without either making the finals. I don't think they've ever won a championship in their franchise history. I'm like 99.9% sure about that. But I think it's been about 50 years since they've made the finals, so which is up there, if not the longest time for a championship drought. And every single damn thing I seem to click on does not seem to mention the Clippers, which is great. Anyway, I think that'll kind of wrap it up.
That'll do it for us. Thank y'all for watching this wonderful show. We appreciate y'all very much for coming out, supporting us. 38 weeks. If not close, probably 39 or 40 weeks, because there's a pilot episode that never really came out.
There are a couple in there that are not seen.
But we appreciate y'all for coming into the show. And
yes.
More to come.
Right. So we will talk to you all next week. We're going to be incorporating some of the NFL is going to start creeping back in starting next week.
You're going to see a lot of rage out of me come next. I'm letting y'all know right now. My jersey is not on fire by the end of the season. It is a miracle. Oh, my God, Trey.
Folks, thank you all for listening, watching. See you all next week. Ice Trey is the man.
Look at this.
Oh my God, can't guard this man. You'd be a fool for even trying.
National Guard couldn't guard this man.
We'll see you all next week.
Peace.